What's up, guys? Today I'm going to be showing you how to make the ultimate computer chair. Let's get to it. The materials you're going to need are this 1-inch PVC pipe, these 2 small C-clamps, 2 sheets of 1/2-inch plywood, and 1 sheet of 1/4-inch plywood. You could probably easily do with 1 sheet of each plywood, but these came in really small cutouts, so I need 2 for this project. You're also going to need a speaker. I chose this Z313 because it was small and it wasn't that expensive. It was only about $40, which is pretty good for a speaker. You'll need these 1/4-inch bolts and nuts and washers. Finally, you'll need a computer chair. It must have arms for this to work. The first thing I've done is I've taken the subwoofer, turned it upside down, and strapped it using paracord and elastic cord to my chair. I'm gonna take my PVC pipe and cut a slot at the end of it so that I can place the clamp inside. Now you just cut the slot. You want it to be big enough that it can go and cover your whole clamp, or at least almost all of it. Next, you're gonna wrap it in paracord to make sure that it stays really tight to the clamp. You're gonna take the PVC pipe with the clamp on it, attach it to the chair, take a marker, see where your ear is, then mark that out on the PVC. Then you can add a little bit more because it doesn't need to be exactly that height. Cut this. Now take your speaker, place it on the plywood, mark out how large you need it to be, leaving extra room on the side for the PVC pipe to come through. Now I've cut that out, I'm gonna drill a hole where I want to put the PVC pipe. Now I've just placed a block of wood right onto my piece of PVC. I covered it in duct tape so that it would look a little bit more like the theme of the speakers, which is black and white. And then I'm going to put this on my chair, level the speaker with my ear, and strap it in using these 2 rubber bands. You're probably wondering, why do I even need this on my chair? You don't, but it does help the speakers to sound a lot better. Since they're level with your ears, you get the sound a lot more crisper, and since the subwoofer is attached to your chair, you can actually feel the vibration instead of it just vibrating your table. The next thing we're going to be working on is a tray table that'll come from overhead. Now I've created a stencil that I'm going to need to cut out of the 1/2-inch plywood 2 times, and out of the 1/4-inch plywood 4 times. Now you got everything cut out, you want to glue it together. I've drawn from here all the way across, and then from the center of this hole all the way down to find the midpoint where I'm going to need to drill a hole later. But first, I'm going to take this PVC pipe and I'm going to cut a large slot in it so that it can slot over like this onto the piece of wood. Make sure you only cut to here. The PVC fits snugly and is able to move around the way I want it to. I did end up having to heat it up because it wasn't big enough to be able to fit this in. So just keep that in mind. If you want your PVC to be larger, do that. But if you don't and you don't really care, then you can just heat it up and it'll work fine. The next part of the process is to measure from here to over here on the 1/2-inch plywood, and then draw a long strip of plywood, then cut that out. Next step is to get this piece of wood up inside of here. We need to be able to have a lever system so that we can pull this down so it'll automatically stay down, and then we can push it back up. Then you need to cut out holes look like this. Now you've cut your groove, you're going to want to drill a hole in the back piece of this knob so then you can stick a pin through it like this. Then you place it within the PVC tube and it can slot in and out. Now you're going to place your entire setup together and you're going to drill one hole through here all the way through so then you can attach your 1/4 inch bolts. Then you'll just thread it through and put washers and nuts on it. Then once I've drilled the holes, I've just placed in my bolt and screwed it on, and the system is now operating. You can, if you'd like to, attach rubber bands from this nail over to these bolts, so then this wood is automatically being pulled down, but I don't think it's completely necessary and I won't be doing it. I've just attached the clamp. The hole wasn't quite perfect because the clamp is really misshapen, so I've cut up the top of the clamp with my angle grinder, and now it's attached perfectly fine and the mechanism works great. And now for a quick intermission in this video because I talk a lot and I know it can get really boring. Instead of having two of these mechanisms either side of the chair lifting up so that the board will go above my head, I've decided to just add a hinge over here so that it can hinge up and then just go next to the chair, which will be simpler. The next step is going to be to take this hinge, attach it to the board, and then attach it to the PVC arm that's on the chair. Next, I'm going to attach the board with the hinges to the PVC pipe so that I can hinge it up and push it behind the chair. You might be wondering why I'm not going to flatten the PVC pipe so that the plywood board lays flat on it. I'm not doing this because I think it'll take away from the structural integrity that the circle has and make the PVC too flexible. I'm going to add a tube of PVC running along this side without the hinges because the board won't be level if there's a missing piece of PVC between the arm of the chair and the plywood board. Now after building it, I don't think it's necessary to have the platform be able to lift up above my head. I think that it would be fine if you just had the hinge going from here to here. If you only built that part, it would probably cut the price of the build in half. But I do think it is helpful to be able to put it up and behind me, so then if I don't want to use it and I'm doing some other project at the table that I have in front of me, then I can just do that and keep this out of the way. Yeah, that's all I really got. Hey guys, I had a lot of fun filming this video. It was a real brain teaser to try and figure out how to make this mechanism work properly. So I really hope you enjoyed it. Please go out, make it yourself. I do like it a lot. I love how the speakers are next to my ears. It just makes it sound so much better. This project is definitely worth making. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. Remember to comment down below what you want me to make next. Subscribe, like this video up. I'm outie.